everybody, and welcome to what is another video. And here we have the tier list maker, which means one thing, guys, one thing. It's that time of the year once again, and that means one thing, guys. It's the middle of January. Obviously, I never have time to do this over Christmas or New Year's because even though, yes, that is the halfway point of the season, I never have time because of how busy I am and how busy the football season really is at that time. It's always the middle of January I have time to do this more than anything. But here is basically, let me get you the idea I have got this from. Championship Table Predictions 2024 by Coventry YouTuber Matt SB. If you haven't watched it yet, please go and watch it because Matt is fantastic at everything he does. Getting to 60k, he's absolutely superb. Please go and shout him out and all that. I'll shout Matt out actually for this, but honestly, no. The work he puts in for English football on YouTube is absolutely incredible, and honestly, please go and subscribe to him if you haven't. But yeah, that's where my ideas come from, is Matt SB's video right there, Championship Table Predictions 2024, which is exactly what I'm going to be doing. This is my own version, this is, so this will be interesting to see. Here's the categories. We got relegation, on who I think is going to be the bottom three and will be relegated to League One. Staying up, 21st to 18th. Lower mid-table, 17th to 13th. Higher mid-table, 12th to 7th. And just missing out on the playoffs. Then we have the playoffs, 3rd to 6th. Automatic promotion in 2nd, the runner-up, and then the champions on who I think is going to win the league. So let's get straight onto it. It's my midway predictions of the season. And this ain't my actual predictions, by the way. That is reserved for the start of the season, like I do every July/August. But this is just now what I think between now and May. So my midway predictions, obviously, of the season. So this will be interesting to see. But yeah, let me know in the comment section, guys, on your predictions on all this. Who you think's going to win the league? Who do you think's going up? Who do you think's going down? Please just send your table predictions in the comment section, guys, because I always want to see what everyone else goes for. But yeah, should we get onto it then? Let's get onto it then. We're going from descending order, by the way, so from bottom to top. I prefer doing it that way because it's more exciting to build up on who I think is going to go up to the Premier League. So yeah, it's better to do it that way in my eyes. Right, let's crack on then. Who do I think is going to come dead last? Right, bottom, 24th, Rotherham. 24th, I think, is going to be Rotherham. Rotherham, for me, are going straight back down to League One, and they're going to absolutely hate it. They're going to absolutely hate it, obviously, because they have spent this last decade yo-yoing between the Championship and League One. It's been a bit of a mare for them, hasn't it? Apart from last season, because they did stay up, to be fair to them, last season after being second from League One the season before. But things are not going right there at all. Their away form, when I say our away form is terrible, look at Rotherham's away form because it is so much worse. Well, not so much worse, but it is worse. It's really bad. Their home form is a lot better, but it ain't much better, to be honest with you. They're just struggling all around. They are struggling all around. And if I can get up how many wins they're on this season at the moment, this is where they are. 3 wins. Only 3 wins for 27 games. 15 defeats. 9 draws. 18 points. It doesn't look good for them at all. They're not good enough in my eyes. I think for me, though, what's killed their season was selling... Where is he? Where is he? Where is he? Oh, no, hang on. They're here. This is who they've brought in. Connor Coventry on loan from West Ham. Jordan Hugel, of course, completely a free transfer now from Norwich. There it is, Ogbean. That Ogbean transfer to Luton, I think that's just killed them completely. And they're still struggling without him, even with the additions they're bringing in January. But no, for me, Rotherham are going back down. I hate to say it to their fans, but I really think it will happen, personally. So, that is that. I do think Rotherham are going back down to League One. I think, yes, they stayed up. They stayed up, and that's what's good for them from the season before. But what's been unfortunate for me for Rotherham is that they have come into this season's championship with one of the biggest amount of championship competitions in years. With that team lineup that's there, that doesn't help their cause, I don't think, either. But, nah, they're not good enough, in my opinion. To put it bluntly, they're not good enough. I don't think Liam Richardson can keep them up either. They sacked Matt Taylor earlier in the season. Nah, Rotherham are down for me. They could still finish 23rd. They could still finish 22nd. But I tell you what, I'd be shell-shocked. Absolutely shell-shocked if they pulled off staying up this season. Especially that they're 8 points off safety where Huddersfield is at the moment. So, Rotherham for me are going down. So that moves on to my 23rd place. 23rd, QPR. And now we go on to my second candidate for going down. I think QPR, it's a tough one because Cifuentes, no-brainer, has done a lot better than Gareth Ainsworth. That's for sure. That's the first starter. Obviously, they had a disastrous start under Gareth Ainsworth. It got him sacked. Cifuentes is a much better coach for them, but apart from their good run they had in December, they still can't pick up crucial points when possible. They lost that crucial game to Sheffield Wednesday a few weeks back. There's others they've lost as well, like Cardiff at home, Watford at home. Again, they're not good enough. QPR are not good enough home either. They're really poor at home as well, and I don't think that helps them either. QPR's currently bottom for the home form table on 9 points, and that's what's really letting them down. Away, they're a lot better. They're on 12 points, and three of their 5 wins. 3 of their 5 wins have come away from home. Unlike us, unlike Rotherham, QPR are a lot stronger away from home. But again, I just think it might be too little too late for Cifuentes. There's also been talks about QPR getting a points deduction because I heard from Huddersfield on Saturday that they've broken FFP. I don't know whether this is true or not. And I also got told that I was meant to hear something by Monday, but I've heard nothing so far about it all. But it's all looking doom and gloom for them at the moment. I don't think Lyndon Dykes, Elias Chair, Chris Willock, they might stay up, and I do think they have a chance of staying up, but things are looking doom and gloom over there at the moment. And the way they are going, this will be next season will be QPR's first season in League One since 2004, where they got promoted and came second. And guess who won League One that season in 03-04? You Janners. But yeah, no, QPR are going down for me. And there's just others in that table that I think will do better than them. I'm sorry to say that, QPR fans, but I do think Queen's Park Rangers are going down. This will be their first season in League One in a long while. To be fair, I've actually had Rotherham and QPR to both go down since the start of the season, so you never know, I could actually be right, but we'll see. The last relegation spot, 22nd, Huddersfield. I have gone with Huddersfield to take that last relegation spot. Huddersfield, I'll tell you what, Darren Moore has not impressed me at all ever since he's taken over at Huddersfield. Obviously, Huddersfield had that really slow start to the season under Neil Warnock. We outclassed Huddersfield at the start of the season, of course, when they had Neil Warnock. Neil Warnock then eventually left the club. Taking over was Darren Moore, who obviously left Sheffield Wednesday over the summer by mutual consent. And you know what? Darren Moore has not impressed me at the Terriers during his time there so far. Huddersfield have picked up a lot of draws, to be fair to them. They're currently on 26 points, 5 wins, 11 draws and 11 defeats. They're drawing far too much this season, and it's just, again, it's other clubs that just, they just look like, I think they have a better chance of staying up than Huddersfield. So yeah, I'm going Huddersfield to go down. I nearly had Huddersfield to become 23rd because Cifuentes for QPR has actually impressed me more than Darren Moore has at Huddersfield. But given QPR's FFP circumstances, I will just stick to what's near the table for now and go with Huddersfield for 22nd and QPR for 23rd. But no, that is my relegated three. They are the three that I think that are going to go down this season. So, yeah. Rotherham, QPR and Huddersfield to join League One next season. And that'll be an interesting trio to join League One next season. Well, interesting duo, I should say, because Rotherham's always in bloody League One when they're not in the Championship. But yeah, moving on. 21st. Just staying up in 21st. I am going with Sheffield Wednesday. This might not happen yet, but I'm going to explain to you all why I genuinely think Wednesday's going to pull it off. Danny Roll has been absolutely magnificent for them. He has turned their season completely around. Wednesday are looking much better at home as well. Much better at home under him. They can put that disastrous start with Darren Moore leaving on mutual consent and their time with Xisco as manager. They can put that all behind them now. Danny Roll is turning everything around at Hillsborough. And you know what? I've been really impressed with him so far because ever since he's turned things around. Wednesday had the worst possible start to a championship season with no wins until their 15th game of the season when they played Rotherham at home in a crucial relegation battle that Wednesday won. And ever since then, Wednesday have been on form. They have now got 6 wins this season, only one behind us. We're on 7 wins, but they've really turned this season around the way they are going Wednesday. They're in the top 10 for form as well. Fair play to them. Honestly, Wednesday are going to pull it off for me. There's been some games where it's been disappointing for them, like Norwich away, Southampton away. Who else? Who else do I think of? Cardiff at home. But given the way Huddersfield are going, given the way Rotherham are going, given the way the QPR are going, I genuinely think Wednesday will pull it off. I think they'll be absolutely fine at the end. They're flying on the roll. And you know what? If things go better for them at the end of the season, I wouldn't be shocked if Wednesday do even better next season. If they keep their team momentum and mentality and togetherness together. However, my only downside for Wednesday is that the only reason I see them going down is quite simply their owner, Chansiri, because I can't lie, Wednesday's one of the worst run clubs in the country at the moment, and obviously I feel for all the fans that are going through that ownership at the moment, of course, under Chansiri, but Roll's turning it around. Chansiri's the only reason why I see Wednesday going down, but given the way Huddersfield, QPR and Rotherham are going, I don't see them doing it. Plus, I'm going to back what I said at the start of the season, where I said all 3 promoted clubs, Plymouth, Ipswich and Sheffield Wednesday, will be absolutely fine, maybe even more than fine. And to see 3 new clubs, well, apart from Rotherham, but 3 new clubs to join League One that were in the Championship the season before. I can't really say new for Rotherham, can I? Because they don't stop yo-yoing between the 2. But no, Wednesday for me are going to be 21st. So that moves on to 20th now. Who do I think is going to come 20th? Now, this might surprise you all a bit, but I'm going to go bold here for my 20th. Because I think they're falling like a cliff at the moment with the way they have been lately. 20th, I've gone with Blackburn. I've gone with Blackburn to come 20th. Blackburn are falling like a cliff at the moment under John Dal Thomason. I don't know what's going on over there. And this is a coach I highly rated last season as well, even though Blackburn completely blew the playoffs at the end, just like Millwall. But something is not right at Ewood Park at all at the moment. The only reason, I'm going to say this now, the only reason why Blackburn are staying up is because of one man, Sammy Szmodics, who is one of the players of the season this season in the Championship. He's been incredible, Szmodics, and you know what? Fair play to him for that. But Other than that, it just looks doom and gloom at Ewood Park. Blackburn's just sold their captain, Lewis Travis, to Ipswich on loan for the rest of the season, which I think is a terrible move. A terrible move by Blackburn. And I think they're going to miss him badly. Also, they have lost more games than anyone this season other than Sheffield Wednesday and QPR. Level on defeats with Rotherham they are. They remind me of Peterborough last season in League One. However, a lot worse. And I mean a lot worse. Because obviously right now, Blackburn currently sit 18th in the league. But they're not impressing me at all. And the way they are going, I think they're going to be even further down the table. But that's going to be my bold call. Because you never know. Blackburn could still finish mid-table and much higher. But they're falling like a stone at the moment. And again, selling Lewis Travis to Ipswich. Like, I don't get it. I could be wrong, though, about Rovers, but I don't trust them at the moment. And the only reason why I think Blackburn will stay up is because of Schmodix. And I'll tell you what, there'll be pressure on John Dale Tomlinson. And it's gutting for the Blackburn fans, to be fair. But again, the same goes with other clubs I'm about to put out there. The reason why also I think Blackburn will stay up is because there's 4 worse teams than them in the league. So, yeah, there's that as well. But they're falling like a cliff at the moment. I don't trust them at all. But they'll do enough to stay up. They've got Schmodix, who's one of the best midfielders in the league. They'll be fine. Blackburn to come 20th. Right, 19th. This might be another one that might surprise you all, but I'm going to go with it anyway. I'm going with Swansea. My 19th, I'm going with Swansea. And again, the same reason as Blackburn. Swansea have got the squad completely capably fine of staying up this season. Definitely. My only thing for Swansea, though, is that they have now got a new manager. Swansea's now got a new manager in Luke Williams, who they've signed from League 2. They've signed him from League 2. So that's going to be really interesting to see how he pans out. That's a big step, that is, by the way. League 2 to the Championship. And you know what? It kind of makes me glad. That we didn't go for him, because when Shuey obviously buggered off to Stoke for the money, I just didn't know who would be our manager. And I saw Luke Williams was linked with us. And I was like, I don't know if I want someone to go straight from League 2 to the Championship at Argyle. So I don't know what that will do to our season. And you know what? I'm glad we didn't go for him. And Swansea's gone for him instead. But you never know. Luke Williams could prove me wrong. He could be a brilliant coach for Swansea. And Swansea could finish mid-table. But with the other teams that are there, I just think they're going to finish ahead of Swansea. I could be so wrong, though, but the squad they have, they may have sold Joel Pirro over the summer to Leeds, but Jerry Yates, Harry Darling, the squad they have, they'll be absolutely fine. There's no way I can see Swansea going down. There's definitely 3 worse teams than them in the league. So, yeah, I'm going with Swansea to come 19th. And also, with them sacking Duff earlier in the season, I don't know if that's going to help their cause one bit either, but I don't know if they've trusted him enough, and I don't know if that plan will backfire or not, but Swansea will be absolutely fine for me. So, yeah, I'm putting them 19th. 18th, also staying up. I'm going to go with Birmingham. I'm going to go with Birmingham to come 18th. This was a toss-up for me between Birmingham, Stoke, us, and Millwall. Between Birmingham, Millwall, us, and Stoke on who comes 18th. And I went with Birmingham at the end. It was a really tough one to go with, to be fair. I was going to go with Millwall, It was actually really a toss-up between Birmingham and Millwall for me. But Millwall's away form is absolutely incredible. And that alone is the only reason why I think Millwall's going to be higher. But Birmingham, again, will be absolutely fine. Look at the team they have in Siriki Dembele, Scott Hogan, Buchanan, Lee Buchanan, Bakuna, Jay Stansfield, as much as that pains me to say. They've got a bloody good side. obviously, what has ruined Birmingham's season was obviously getting rid of John Eustace earlier in the season. And that's what costed Birmingham the playoffs at the end. They brought in Wayne Rooney. It was an absolute disaster. Thankfully for Birmingham fans, they have done the right thing getting rid of Wazza. And now Tony Mowbray has joined Birmingham. And you know what? If Tom Brady and the ownership at St Andrews actually think straight for the rest of this season and next season, then I'll tell you what, watch out for Birmingham next season in the Championship, because you never know, they could be ones to watch and do so much better next season. But Mowbray, I thought that was a terrible mistake by Sunderland to get rid of Mowbray, but that's why I think it's a really good appointment for Birmingham. But it depends if they can replicate what he did at Sunderland before he got sacked at Sunderland. But also, similar to us, Birmingham's away form is really poor. But again, it's tight. It's such a tight league. It's such a competitive league. Birmingham could finish so much higher, and Mowbray could steer them to like mid-table or even higher, where Eustace had them originally. Because Eustace had Birmingham challenging for the playoffs until he got sacked. But no, it's a tight league. I'm going 18th for Birmingham, but they really could finish higher, and I wouldn't be shocked if they did. So yeah, I'm going 18th for Brum. 17th, we're now on the lower mid-table category. My 17th, I've gone with Stoke and the rat in charge, Shuey. Stoke is going to come 17th for me. I hope Stoke fans forgive me for saying this, but I know they won't. But I bloody hope they go down. I know it won't happen. I think they're too good to go down, but I'd love it just because Shuey then realises he's made the biggest cock-up of his career. That's all I want. That's all I want to see. So he realises to himself, why the hell did I leave Argyle? That's how much I want Stoke relegated this season. Because one man decided to move up north, closer to his home Liverpool, for the money. And I will not forgive Shuey for the way he's left our club, and neither will most of our fans. But, I'll tell you what, as much as it pains me to say, Stoke are looking a lot better with him, I can't lie. A lot better with Shuey. Because before Shuey took the job at the Potters, Stoke were looking on course to be in the bottom three, I can't lie. They looked terrible, absolutely terrible. But ever since Shuey's come in, they've looked a lot better. I remember their Boxing Day away win at Birmingham. They were absolutely superb. It was painful because Shuey got his first away win before we even got our first away win still. But I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be shocked if Stoke finish higher as well. But I hope they finish lower. I want them relegated for obvious reasons why. But I don't think they will, personally. Shuey's turning it around for the Potters, to be honest with you. So, Stoke will be fine at the end. I can see another bang average finish. 17th place for Stoke. They may be higher, but you never know. They could be even better next season, just like Birmingham's course. But I don't know. I'm going 17th for Stoke. Again, it's a really tight league because it's so competitive. Anyone could finish anywhere. Well, apart from Rotherham winning the league and Leicester relegated. So, yeah. Apart from that, it's such a competitive league. So, now we move on to this position. Let's play it.
If I'm not... 16th!
Thank you, Nepenthez. You've done the job for me. Anyway, I'm going with Millwall to come 16th. This was a hard one because I was actually considering Stoke and Birmingham to finish higher than Millwall. Plus, I rate Birmingham's squad higher than Stoke's and Millwall's. But it's just the management and the way Birmingham are running things. That's why I think they'll be lower. But Millwall, a few weeks ago, I was worried for their survival because they were not looking good at all, and their home form is absolutely atrocious. Basically, Millwall is the complete opposite to us. They are absolutely appalling at home, but away, they are absolutely superb. They're 7th for away form. They're so much better away from home, Millwall, but they'll be absolutely fine at the end in my eyes. I mean, I thought it did look worrying at the start with Joe Edwards as their manager, and I thought to myself, are they going to bring someone to replace him? Because I did not know how they would cope without Gary Rowett, because obviously Rowett got sacked during the season because Millwall had a poor start compared to what they were expected to do. But given the team they have and the squad they have, I think they'll be absolutely fine at the end. Like I said, they're the complete opposite to us. They're brilliant away, but they're absolutely awful at home. So, I don't know, though. I don't know. It's going to be tight. It's going to be tight again, but that alone, their away form alone, is why I think Millwall's going to be higher than Birmingham and Stoke and Swansea and Blackburn. But, again, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. And that moves on to speaking of home form for 15th place. 15th, I've gone with us. I've gone with Plymouth. No, not there. Here. There we go. Look, I know it's biased. I know it's biased that I've predicted us to be mid-table, despite the form we're on at the moment. But let me just show you our January transfer window so far. Let's just get it up. And I'm going to tell you why I think we're going to be 15th. So, earlier on in the season, I had us to come 13th in my start of the season predictions, and also my my 13th in my start of the season predictions and my updated predictions I did on the Tamar Bridge. Because I had full faith in the team. I had full faith in Shuey. I had full faith in the likes of Whittaker, Azaz, Mumba, Hardy, Houghton, Randall, Michael Cooper when he came back. Our home form. And that's why I thought we'd be mid-table. But things have looked a lot different since then. Shuey has buggered off to Stoke for the money. Finn Azaz has left the club. He's gone to Middlesbrough for the rest of the season. And you know what? Since it was a loan as well, I hope he smashes it at Borough, because I saw Finn Azaz's post about us and it was quality. He loves us. He didn't want us to leave. Similar to Whittaker last season. But yeah, I just thank you again for everything you've done, Azaz. Cundall, thanks again for everything you've done, Luke. But then he chose to go to Stoke and join bloody Shuey. That wound me up, that did. But there you are. What can you do? But yeah, I'm putting us to finish 15th. I'm putting us to finish 15th. Let me show you our transfer business lately. These are the two that we have just signed today. Matthew Sorinola, a free agent, undisclosed, right back to replace Kane Kessler-Hayden, who's now gone back to Aston Villa. He was a loan as well. We've also signed Alfie Devine on loan today from Tottenham, attacking midfielder. That's our Azaz replacement, our Cundall replacement. And I've seen him before on YouTube and just in general. He's a fantastic player. I'm really excited for him. Giabi played against Huddersfield. I was impressed with him. Ashley Phillips played against Huddersfield. I was impressed with him. It all looked doom and gloom when Azaz left and when Cundall left. And there were talks about Whittaker going to the Premier League. Azaz's departure, I can't lie, didn't bother me. It just didn't, because I think we'll replace him. Reminds me of Whittaker last season, even though, let's be honest, the Championship's a step up from League One, so you don't know. But then Cundall left, and I was like, we have to act on our transfer window this January, or we're going to struggle. Thankfully, we are acting on these departures. So Sorinola, Devine, Giabi and Phillips have all come in. Tyrick Wright's gone to Bradford. Good. No disrespect to Tyrick Wright. Not Championship quality at all. Gillespie's gone to Charlton. That's who our replacement for Gillespie is. But Ashley Phillips. But again, Gillespie deserves the move, to be honest, because he hasn't got enough game time this season. And you never know. He could save Charlton's season and get them in the playoffs. And I love Gillespie for everything he's done for us. And then, yeah. Kane Kesler-Hayden's gone back to Villa. Azaz has gone to Middlesbrough. Cundall's gone to Stoke. But we are bringing players in as well. And I am trusting our owners. Hallett, and the board with how our January transfer window's going. And that's where, again, I think we'll be completely fine. And this is where we're the opposite to Millwall. We're absolutely superb at home, but we cannot hit a barn door away on the road. Hopefully, that first away win will come at Swansea for our next away game. Hopefully, it will come by then. But for now, it's going to be tricky. But I have full hope and my heart that we're going to finish 15th. I don't think we're going to finish 13th anymore because even though that was my prediction from the beginning, the 14 teams I have ahead of us, I just think will be higher than us at the end. And I'm also going to stick with my gut feeling, that the 3 teams promoted from League One are all going to be at separate ends of the table. Plymouth mid-table, Sheffield Wednesday scraping relegation, and Ipswich battling for promotion. And that's the way I think it's going to be. So yeah, with my heart, I'm backing us to go 15th, and I'm trusting our home form still. So yeah, I'm going with it. Argyle to come 15th. Moving on to 14th. Now, my 14th, this might surprise you because they are battling for the playoffs at the moment, but I do think they're going to drop off, but I could be wrong. My 14th, I've gone with Watford. There we go. This is my biggest surprise so far. And the reason why I have gone with Watford to come 14th is because, firstly, I think that there's going to be other teams in this division that I just think are going to finish higher than them. And I've been more impressed with than Watford. I hate to say it to Watford fans, but secondly, I think Watford's very similar to us, even though they're battling for playoffs at the moment. Like, we drew with them 0-0 at Vicarage Road. They got a deserved point at Home Park a few weeks ago. I had to pick one team. That I think is going to drop off a bit when they're battling for playoffs at the moment. And that I have gone with Watford, but I could be so wrong. I mean, Valerian Ismail's a brilliant coach at the end of the day. So this could make me look like a blithering idiot come May. But look, guys, again, it's the Championship. It's full of surprises and anything could happen. 1 week, Coventry could be in the playoffs. The next week, they could be 13th or whatever. It's a tight league. And I have sacrificed Watford to finish 14th place at the end, which I know they're going to hate this video for, and fair enough on why, because there's going to be other people that's going to put Watford a lot higher, they're going to put us lower, they're going to put Swansea higher, etc, etc. That is the tightness of the Championship. But yeah, I'm going to back Watford to come 14th. That's a tough one, but I just think they're completely bang average. But again, I could be wrong. They're currently on 10 wins, 8 defeats, and 9 draws. But on their day, they are really good, and they're only a point behind the playoffs, so you never know. But I do think they're gonna drop off slightly. And there's other teams that, for me, have impressed me a bit more than they have. But I could still look like an idiot come May. But no, I'm going Watford 14th, and then 13th to complete the lower half of the table. I have gone with Bristol City, Liam Manning's side. To put it bluntly, over the last few seasons in the Championship, Bristol City have just... I don't know what's going on with them, but like, ever since they've returned to the Championship in what I believe was 2014-15. Yeah, that was the year they went up from League One. But ever since they've come up, they have just been the most bang average team you could ever see in this Championship division. 18th, 17th, 11th, 8th, 12th, 19th, 17th, 14th. Like, when you think of a team that's completely bang average in the Championship, you think of Bristol City. Because that is exactly what's happened to them the last few years. They've not made an impression on going up or an impression on going down. And again, I don't think they're any different. They get convincing wins, and then they get terrible defeats as well. And they get draws that they felt they should have either won or lose. They're just so bang average. I don't think them sacking Nigel Pearson this season has helped them either, but... I mean, Bristol City's on 10 wins, 11 defeats and 6 draws at the moment, which just sums up they are completely bang in the middle at the moment. But I actually think Liam Manning's doing a lot better of a job than what I thought, to be fair. And that's where I think they'll pit Watford, even though Ismail's doing a brilliant job as well. Like, Watford are seen as a sacking club, like Chelsea in the Premier League, but they haven't even come close to sacking Ismail yet, so it just shows something's going right there at the moment. And I do feel harsh for predicting Watford to come 14th, but I just think they will at the end. Bristol City, I think, will pip them to 13th on goal difference, but I could be wrong. But they're just such a mid-table club, and I just don't see this season being any different for them. But it looks like Manning is going to be the future for them, and yeah, that's where I think they'll finish 13th. They might build from this next season, but you never know with Bristol City. You never know. So that moves on to my 12th. I mean, I hope this club does not finish 12th because I want to see him do bad, because he, like Shuey, he's another one that has left us for the money. He has left us for the money. He has left us for the money and has gone off to another club with more money than us for the money. And yeah, the way he left was disgusting. My 12th is Preston. Ryan Lowe to be the first team that I think will be in the top half of the table. They're currently 12th at the moment, Preston, and I think they'll stay there because even though they made a great start to the season, their form has really tattered off lately. They've been as low as 14th. Something's not right there. There's also been calls about Ryan Lowe getting sacked from Preston and him not being the right man. But Preston has actually, this might come across as a really unpopular opinion, but even though on the days they are awful, they really are awful, but on the days they are brilliant, they are absolutely brilliant. And there are parts this season where they've actually really impressed me, because I had Preston 21st at the start of the season. How wrong I've been so far. And I feel like I've underpredicted Preston a bit. And even though their goal difference is absolutely shocking, it's on -11, I can see them still finish top half. And I know teams in this country can do that, have a terrible goal difference but finish in the top half of the table. And there are players in that team that have impressed me this season, like Will Keane, even though he's been injured for some of it, Dwayne Holmes, Liam Miller. What a season Liam Miller's having for Preston. Again, I think it's going to be such a tight battle between, for me, 10th all the way to 14th. So whoever I've got 10th and 11th all the way down to Watford, I think it's going to be really close. And also who I have in 9th. But that's the tightness of the championship summed up. I'm going with Preston to come 12th, then to sneak in the top half. 11th, another one that, like Preston, they're on terrible form at the moment, but I have been impressed with their season so far, considering I had them to struggle, just like Preston. And one of their players has been my right back of the season so far, Perry NG. And the club Perry NG plays for is Cardiff. That's who I'm predicting to come 11th, Cardiff City. Cardiff have really impressed me this season. I think what Errol Bulot's done in his first season has been superb. Given the circumstances Cardiff had, they avoided relegation last season due to Reading's points deduction. A lot of people predicted, including myself, predicted Cardiff to go down at the start of the season. There were things that didn't look great for them, but Errol Bulot's come in. They signed Aaron Ramsey. Aaron Ramsey's returned to his boyhood club, where he started off his career in football. And there have been games where, honestly, Cardiff have really impressed me, to be honest with you. Even though they currently are 13th in the table, I think they will be higher than that. Cardiff are a team I can see finishing top half this season, and even though their home form's not the greatest compared to other clubs like us, for example, and obviously your top four, but I do think it's very underrated. And I do think Cardiff have the best right back in the league at the moment. And when you've got the best right back in the league, in my eyes, or in any position really, that's where I see you coming top half, to be honest with you. My only exceptions are obviously Whittaker for us and Schmodix for Blackburn. Because even though they're in my teams of the season, with other teams up there, I just don't see either us or Blackburn finishing in the top half. So that's where I have us in 15th and Blackburn in 20th. But no, I am backing Cardiff to come 11th. Erol Bulot's really impressed me this season. I had Cardiff to go down, and they have proved me wrong massively. And when Aaron Ramsey comes back from injury, because he's currently out at the moment, but when he comes back from injury, honestly, watch Cardiff. They'll be ones to watch. It'll be really interesting to see how they get on. Hopefully they will be rubbish this weekend though, because they're coming to home park this weekend, and I hope we've got to beat them. We've got to beat them. We have got to beat them. That's a must win for us in my eyes. But yeah, I'm backing Cardiff to come 11th, but they could be higher, they could be lower. 10th, missing out on the playoffs but still doing better than who's below them. 10th, I am going with Norwich to come 10th. And the reason why I think David Wagner's side will come 10th is because first of all, a lot of Norwich fans are saying it's been a very up and down season. A very up and down season. They're on 11 wins, 11 defeats and 5 draws. Secondly, I don't know if Norwich fans are trusting Wagner at the moment as their manager, but like Cardiff, Norwich have had some players that I highly rate. Jonathan Rose had a brilliant season. And Gabriel Sara, for me, has been the defensive midfielder of the season. And again, there is quality in that side at Norwich, apart from when they came to home park, obviously, because that was their worst performance of the season and our best performance of the season. But I don't know. It's a very up and down season for Norwich. David Wagner, I don't know. I think they've got to give him time, the Norwich fans. But at the same time, I understand why they don't want him. It's a hard one. But basically, I think Norwich will be good enough to be in the top half, 100%, especially with their away win they've just had at Hull, which I'm very impressed with. It was another Jonathan Rowe masterclass. However, I don't think they're going to be good enough for the playoffs. And there's other teams that are out there that I haven't put up yet that I think is going to be so much stronger than Norwich come the end of the season, come May. They're too inconsistent, Norwich. 44 goals scored, 43 goals conceded. And yeah, that's where I have Norwich 10th. But like I said, I think it's going to be really tight between Norwich all the way down to Watford. And any one of those sides could finish 10th in my eyes. So yeah. Moving on to my 9th place. Just missing out on the playoffs. I'm going with Middlesbrough. I'm going Borough to come 9th, so Daryl's not going to like this at all. But I think him himself won't be shocked with this either, to be honest. I mean, again, the same situation as Norwich. Look how inconsistent Borough are. 12 wins, 12 defeats, 3 draws. And I think if they do miss out on the playoffs, it's going to be seen as a really disappointing season for Michael Carrick come the end. But you know what? Now that Borough's got Azaz, I really hope they do it. I really want Azaz to be happy. And you know what? I wouldn't mind Borough going up because it would be brilliant for them. And, well, they deserve something, that fan base. They really do. And it's just been years of championship football when they got relegated from the Premier League in 2017. But nah, I hope they do it, and I want Azaz to, well, get his dream, basically. But given the teams I have ahead of Middlesbrough, I just don't think they're going to do it. I think Borough's going to slightly miss out at the end, and Carrick will have a scratching head coming towards what their plans will be for next season. It will be seen as a disappointing season for Borough as well, or an underachieving season, because a lot of people had them going up. I had them coming third, but not winning the playoff final. But They could be higher, they could be lower. My downside for Middlesbrough is that when they play the when they play the bottom teams, or teams lower than them in the table, apart from Preston, they seem to struggle. They struggled against Stoke. They struggled against Bristol City. They had a draw with us. But then when they play teams ahead of them, like Southampton, like Leicester, they're on top form. They beat Southampton at home. They beat Leicester at home. They destroyed Sunderland in the derby away. It just shows what quality and what capabilities Borough really has. And then there's other games. They're just so inconsistent. And it's where I know their fan base scratch their heads. But no, I think Borough's going to just miss out. And it will be seen as a really disappointing season for them. But I hope they do it, to be honest, because I'd be happy for Azaz. And they're a club I always like seeing doing well, to be fair. I've never had anything against them. I've never had anything against any of the North East sides, to be fair, as a Plymouth fan. So, there we go. Borough will finish 9th for me. In 8th, again, just missing out on the playoffs, is actually a team that's currently in the playoffs at the moment I've gone with. I'm going with Coventry to come 8th. I think Coventry's going to pit Borough to that 8th spot. I think it's going to be really close between them two, to be fair. But it's a tough one. It's a really tough one because Coventry's only on 7 defeats all season. And they had a really slow start to the season as well. But now Coventry fans are debating to themselves going, why did I ever doubt Mark Robins? They're turning it around. I mean, that win against Leicester in their M69 derby just last time out last weekend was absolutely brilliant. Absolutely superb by them. But the thing is now, Coventry's also one of the most top form teams in the league at the moment. But the question is for them now. They're now in the playoffs in 6th place. But can they keep it going? I don't know if they can. I could be wrong. And again, with Watford and with other clubs I've already put out there, I could be seen as a massive idiot come May. But there's other teams in that league that I can't lie, I have been more impressed with than Coventry, and same with Middlesbrough. And that's where I think Cov's going to slightly miss out. They've picked it up, they have picked it up, and I think they will battle all the way, but I think they're going to just miss out. And that gives them time to focus on the summer on what Robins wants for next season. And yeah, Coventry's going to just miss out for me. Just miss out, which will be heartbreaking for their fans, but they could still do it. They could still do it. And you never know. You saw their playoff final last season against Luton. They could repeat it again. But no, I think Coventry's going to just miss out. And then in 7th place, also just missing out. Another one where I could be seen as a massive idiot, but I have gone with West Brom. I've gone with West Brom to finish 7th. And yeah, I'm now going to tell you all why I think West Brom's going to come 7th. The reason why I think West Brom is just going to miss out is because even though they look comfortable in 5th at the moment, I forgot to say, by the way, about Coventry, their main positive, by the way, is their goal difference. Their goal difference is absolutely superb, and no wonder they're in the playoffs at the moment. But I think they're going to miss out. I just think the qualities of your Sunderlands and Hulls, I think, are going to edge both West Brom and Coventry. I've been more impressed with Sunderland than I have been with West Brom. I've been more impressed with Hull than I have been with West Brom. But again, I could be wrong. The main reason, though, why I think West Brom will make the playoffs, though, if they do, is their goalkeeper, Alex Palmer. He has been absolutely incredible. Definitely a candidate for goalkeeper of the season so far. In fact, my 2 goalkeepers of the season so far are actually Alex Palmer and Ipswich's Vaclav Hladky. But there is some quality in that team at West Brom. Thomas Asante, Diangana, Wallace, Swift, but I mean, you never know. This might still not happen yet, but my downside for West Brom my downside for the Baggies is that firstly, when I went to the Hawthorns in October, a lot of their fans were saying to me, I don't think we're ready for the Premier League yet. And you know what? I feel bad for their fans when they said that to me. But, again, when we went to West Brom, it was October. Now I don't know what they're going to be thinking. So, you never know. Their opinions could be changed by now. But my worry for West Brom, and this is where I think they're going to miss out on the playoffs, is their financial state. Financially, they really look like they're in trouble at the moment. And Rose Veer and I, from TheArgyleWay obviously, Rose Veer and I have tipped West Brom in the future to be a potential League One club. A bit like a Sunderland, or like a Leeds, or a Wolves over the years. Like a giant club that ends up falling adrift into the third tier. Ipswich, obviously, they've lately done it, but it just wouldn't shock me if they're the next ones that follow these clubs that have done it in the past. Sheffield Wednesday, another one. Derby right now. But if they get their takeover sorted, I think they'll be absolutely fine, and they could be well and truly comfortable with who they sign. Who, if they get in the playoffs, they might win the playoffs. But it's such a tough one for West Brom at the moment. For me, it is such a tough one. I think they're just going to miss out, but again, I think it depends if they get their takeover sorted. Part of me thinks they won't get it sorted, then it will come, and then they'll push for like autos in a few years' time, maybe. But for now, I don't know. It's a really tight league again. If they don't get taken over, then I think West Brom's going to miss out. But again, you got to let the football do the talking. And to be fair to West Brom, they are letting their football do the talking at the moment. That's why they're currently 5th. But you know what? I do like going with bold predictions, don't I? I'm not saying that this is exactly bold, but opinions where someone will look at it going, I don't see that club finishing there. You never know. But yeah, I'm going West Brom to come 7th. Right. So that moves us on to the top 6, the playoffs and automatic promotion. So as you can see there, they're the 6 clubs remaining. Hull, Ipswich, Leeds, Leicester, Southampton and Sunderland. Now, what order am I going with? 6th, I'm going with Hull. Hull, for me, will pip West Brom to the playoffs. A bit like how Peterborough pipped Derby last season. A bit like how Wickham bloody pipped us the season before in League One. Something for me looks so good at Hull this season. Philogene Badace, what a player he is. Scott Twine may have gone to Bristol City this January, but other than that, I just think they look absolutely superb this season. I know that defeat to Norwich just last time out is a big setback for them, but they're currently 9th. They're still only 1 point behind the playoffs, to be fair. It's definitely doable. I've been very impressed with Liam Rosenior's side this season. I really have. I had them 11th since the start of the season. They've done a lot better than what I thought. The Tigers have been brilliant this season. They've just signed Fabio Carvalho on loan from Liverpool as well. I think that's a huge signing for Hull as well. But they're on 11 wins, 6 draws and 10 defeats. And again, they're another club that I really trust away from home, even though lately it has dropped against teams like QPR and all that, where they've had some disappointing performances. But then there's others where they've just looked absolutely superb. I'm going to back them. I am going to back Hull to get the playoffs. I've been really impressed with them this season. What a team they have this season as well. And I was really impressed with them when we went there in September. And it makes me so glad that we got a point there, to be honest. But yeah, I like backing dark horses to sneak in and do it. And that's what I think the Tigers are going to do. I am going to back Hull to do this. And the Hull boy will be watching this. He'll absolutely love this prediction. But yeah, I'm going to back Hull to sneak in and come 6th. And then 5th, I think, will be Sunderland. This is where I agree with Matt SB on Sunderland. For me are the big if this season now. Sunderland for me are the big if. They're either going to sneak in the playoffs or they're going to miss out. That's the way I see Sunderland's state at the moment. I know them sacking Tony Mowbray has not helped them at all. But I have full faith in Michael Beale doing well for Sunderland. And to be fair, Sunderland are actually on good form at the moment, to be fair to them. We're going there next month, and I'm bricking it, to be honest with you. When they came to home park as well, and we won 2-0, Sunderland still played amazingly. They just couldn't finish at all, because the amount of wasted chances that Sunderland had during that game, it was mental, wasn't it? But again, I have been impressed with Sunderland this season. I have been very impressed with Sunderland this season. And this is also why I think Sunderland's going to finish ahead of Middlesbrough. Amad Diallo has just put a social media post out saying he wants to rejoin Sunderland and not go to Middlesbrough. Because there has been links of Diallo joining Middlesbrough from Manchester United. But I don't think it's going to happen. And he really wants to go back to Sunderland. And you know what? I don't blame him, because I know he loved it there. The Sunderland fans loved him there. If they get Diallo, and then obviously they have Jack Clark, one of the players of the season, and Joby Bellingham in their team as well. Sunderland have really impressed me this season, like I expected them to. They have been really inconsistent though at the same time. They have had 11 defeats, and there has been some games where I look at them going, how the hell did they lose that? But like I said, I think Sunderland's going to be the big if. They're either going to just miss out or they're going to get in. That's the way I see it. They're either going to miss out or they're just going to get in. So, yeah, I'm going fifth for Sunderland. I'm going fifth. But, again, I could be seen as an idiot back in May. In May, I mean. But I'll back them. I'll back them to get the playoffs. I think this could be a season where Sunderland really go for it. So that leaves us with the obvious top four. Fourth, I am going with who's currently in fourth, Leeds. Before the midway point of the season, this fourth place for me was reserved for Southampton all the way. But given the way bloody Saints are playing at the moment, Leeds, I just think Leeds are getting a bit too ahead of themselves at the moment. I don't know, but there is quality in that team. I mean, like, on paper, they probably look the second strongest team in the league, only behind Leicester. But they're not too inconsistent, but there's been games for Leeds, there's been games for Daniel Farke where it's been really disappointing for them, like their defeat to Stoke and their defeat to Preston. You know what? Leeds are actually turning into Argyle at this point in terms of away form, apart from their last game against Cardiff, because they won that. But at home, and this is where they're similar to us, at home, Leeds are a completely different level. They're absolutely superb at home. They've been blowing teams away at home. But overall, this will be interesting to see what actually happens. But I just think with the form Southampton's on and with the quality that Ipswich has had during this season, I do think Leeds are going to finish fourth, but they could still easily finish second. And I ain't ruling Leeds out for that, and Daniel Farke's side for that. I mean, look at the team they have. Somerville, Pirro. I mean, Somerville's in my team of the season, obviously, so there's that as well. But yeah, Leeds are going to miss out for me on autos, but they'll comfortably be playoffs. And same with the next team I've gone. Third, even though they are on an incredible run at the moment under him, and something's going right with Russell Martin, I still don't think they're going to do it. I've gone with Southampton to come third. Now, I get why a lot of people are backing Saints to come second. And they're the most informed team in the league at the moment. Like, they've only lost 4 times all season. Ever since they lost to Middlesbrough in September, they have been unbeaten. Completely unbeaten. Something is working with Russell Martin and that team at the moment. But I know a lot of Saints fans have been saying at the same time, knowing Southampton will find a way where the pressure gets to us, and that's where we'll fall off and we don't finish second. And I know Southampton have still got to go to Leicester away, Ipswich away, and Leeds away. And I don't know what's going to happen with Saints for that. And they're going to be hard games for them, 100%. I mean, Leeds and Southampton play against each other on the last day of the season. That is going to be a cracking last day for both of them on who comes out on top for that. But even though they're on a good run of form at the moment, do I see them overtaking the top two, who I just think have been amazing all season? No, I don't. Because the top two, I've never seen starts like it, to be honest with you. But again, Leeds could still easily finish second. Southampton could easily still finish second. But I'm going to back Ipswich. I am going to back Ipswich to come second. I mean, I don't think I've been more impressed with a team this season than Ipswich Town. I mean, like, and you know what? Since they're the last team there, I'm going to put them there. I do think Leicester's going to win the league. So we're going to talk about the top three now. So, yes, Russell Martin, what he's been doing has been absolutely incredible. What Russell Martin's been doing has been absolutely incredible lately. But I know Southampton have still got really tough away games to go to. And do I see them doing well in them? I don't know. It will be interesting to see. If they at least get a point in all three, Portman Road, Elland Road and the King Power, then I wouldn't be shocked if Saints do finish second at all. But they're going to be really tough games for them. Leeds will be up for it. Leicester will be up for it to get their own auto spot. And obviously Ipswich will be up for the game at Portman Road. And I'll tell you what, Ipswich outclassed Southampton in my eyes when they went to St Mary's. Amari Hutchinson and Connor Chaplin had brilliant games there. But you never know, they could still do it because Saints are on the most amazing form at the moment. But it's still a long way away. I'm still going to back Ipswich to come second. And I'm backing Ipswich to come second is because, first of all, there was a statistic just before Christmas that both Ipswich and Leicester have made the best starts out of anyone in Championship history. Right up there at the top in Championship history for starts. And all these teams that have made brilliant starts with the points Leicester and Ipswich are on at the moment, they've gone on to be promoted, automatically promoted, both of them. Well, teams that have made starts like that, they have gone on to be automatically promoted. And I see history repeating itself. And you know what? I know this might be a bit biased, but I don't want the promoted three to be Leicester, Southampton and Leeds. And the reason being is because even though, yes, it's very possible, it's very doable, and all three of them have got really strong squads, I don't want it to be those three because it's going to be so boring in my eyes for the relegated three from the Premier League to be the same three that go back up again. It'll be so boring. That's why I want Ipswich to do it, because if Ipswich do it and come second, then there's a new team that joins the Premier League for 24-25. It would be a wonderful story, first of all, as well. Back-to-back promotions. It would just be incredible. And you know what? Even though they've had some tough games lately, I still trust Ipswich's home form, to be honest with you. And the team they have in Nathan Broadhead, Connor Chaplin, Vaclav Hladky, Leif Davis. What a season Hladky and Davis have had. I still maintain that Ipswich have the best defence in the league as well at times. So obviously right up there with Leicester. But yeah, Alex Griffin, if you're watching this, you're gonna love this prediction, and I really think you're gonna do it. And same with you, Josh Russell. I really think you're gonna do it. I really think Ipswich are going to do it. I hope Ipswich do it, to be honest with you, because I just want to see someone new get promoted to the Premier League, and it'd just be terrific for football. Back-to-back promotions is always a wonderful story to see, and I'd be chuffed for Ipswich, to be fair. They fully deserve it if they go up. They fully deserve it. And you know what? Yeah, I'd be pleased for them, to be honest. So I don't care about the rivalries we had last season in League One. We were the better team overall, obviously, because we won the league. But this season, Ipswich are miles clear of us. And you know what? I fully understand it, because they're battling for promotion. We're battling to stay up, maybe even finish mid-table. Yeah, I think Ipswich will do it. I do think Ipswich will still do it. And again, like I said, I'd be chuffed for them. So there you are. That means I think Leicester's going to win the league. I think, let's be honest, it sounds boring, but I think everyone's backing Leicester to win the league. Leicester are currently 7 points clear of Ipswich in second place at the moment. They are top for both home form and away form. They're on 65 points at the moment. In fact, there's been people that have been tipping Leicester to get over 100 points this season, and that wouldn't shock me. I mean, look at the team they have, and look at the team Enzo Maresca is assembling together. Even without Yuri Tillemans going to Aston Villa, Harvey Barnes going to Newcastle, who else? Kasper Schmeichel obviously leaving the season before. Even without all these players that have gone on and stayed in the Premier League with other clubs, look at the team Leicester still have. Vardy's still there. Dewsbury Hall's still been there. In fact, for me, Dewsbury Hall's been the player of the season so far. He's the best midfielder in the league this season. Vestergaard's still there, Ndidi's still there, Iheanacho's still there. Leicester have got a Premier League squad, in my opinion, and they remind me of when Newcastle went down to the Championship. They went straight back up again, no problem with the manager and the squad they have. Both times when I saw Newcastle get relegated, and Leicester for me are in the exact same boat. They're well run. Maresca's a brilliant manager, it turns out to be so far. I'm fully backing them to win the league. And to be honest, I've had the Foxes to win the league since the start of the season. So yeah, KFC Dad and Mayan the Silver Fox, if you're watching this, you're going to absolutely love this. But yeah, I'm backing you guys to win the league. I just think Leicester's had one bad season, one shocking season that's got them relegated to the Championship in the first place. And now I think they're going to go back to business, get back to the Premier League and get back to challenging for more than safety next season in the Premier League. Leicester are going straight back up for me. And yeah, Leicester are my champions as well. So there you have it, guys. There you have it, guys. That is my halfway Championship table predictions of 2024. So, actually, there's one thing I haven't announced yet, and we're going to go on to that in a second, actually, but let's just repeat myself on what I've gone with. 24th, Rotherham. 23rd, QPR. 22nd, Huddersfield. 21st, Sheffield Wednesday. 20th, Blackburn. 19th, Swansea. 18th, Birmingham. 17th, Stoke. 16th, Millwall. 15th, Plymouth. 14th, Watford. 13th, Bristol City. 12th, Preston. 11th, Cardiff. 10th, Norwich. 9th, Middlesbrough. 8th, Coventry. 7th, West Brom. 6th, Hull. 5th, Sunderland. 4th, Leeds. 3rd, Southampton. 2nd, Ipswich. And then 1st, the champions, Leicester. The only thing I haven't announced yet is who I think is going to win the playoff final and who I think is going to join Leicester and Ipswich in the Premier League for next season. So, if the table stays like this, we will have, obviously the rules for the playoffs are 3rd against 6th and 4th against 5th. So, Southampton will have Hull and Leeds will have Sunderland. This might shock you, but I'm going to back, and this is where I do like backing the dark horse. I'm backing Hull to knock out Southampton. Southampton to completely blow it at the end, basically. Like there's been some Southampton fans on YouTube that have been saying, we're on a great run of form at the moment, but we know we're the sort of team that would go on this form and then we blow it when it matters. And that's where I feel it could happen to Southampton. It could happen to Leeds as well, but you know what? I'm going to put it out there now, but I can see both Southampton and Leeds bottling it because I think there'll be too much pressure on both Russell Martin's side and Daniel Farke's side on thinking, we've got to beat Sunderland and Hull. We're better than them. We're better squads than them. We've got to go into the playoff final. And that's where I think they'll fully underestimate Hull, fully underestimate Sunderland. And that's where I think they won't do it, even though I think Leeds will knock out Sunderland personally. But I am going to back Hull to knock out Southampton and pull off a surprise against them. And then Saints and Sunderland to have Championship football next season. And the reason why I'm backing Leeds to beat Sunderland is because I just think Sunderland fans will react to it going, we're not ready for Premier League football. And I know there has been some that have been like that, but yeah. So basically, I'm predicting a Leeds-Hull play. I'm predicting Leeds versus Hull for the playoff final. And bugger it, I don't care. I'm backing Hull to do it. I think the pressure is going to crack on Leeds in that final at Wembley. Like the playoffs has cracked Leeds in that semi-final in 2019 when they got knocked out by Derby. I think the same will happen again. Like I said, I think there'll be too much pressure on both Southampton and Leeds to get back to the Premier League if they finish in the playoffs. So, yeah, I'm backing Hull to do it. I'd like to back a dark horse to do it as well. So, yeah, you know what? I'll put that as a graphic now so you all know. There we go. That's what I reckon. Because I can't be asked to put it in the tier list. So you all know where I think Hull's going to finish. But yeah, I'm going to back Hull to win the playoff final at Wembley versus Leeds. That's what I'm going to go with. So yeah, I'm backing Leicester, Ipswich and Hull to go up and to the Premier League. And Huddersfield, QPR and Rotherham to be relegated to League One. Again, that's what I reckon. But again, I could be wrong. Southampton could still do it. Leeds could still do it. Bloody Sunderland could still do it. West Brom could still do it. Coventry could pull off a surprise and still do it. You never know. You never know. But that's what my midway predictions is all about, is sharing my opinions on what I genuinely think could happen. So leave your comments below on what you all think is going to happen now for the rest of the season. Because I'd love to hear from all of you on what you think is going to happen. But yeah, again, thanks so much for watching, guys. This is my midway predictions of the Championship, and we will see you all for my next video. Up the Janners, up the Argyle, up the Greens, up the Pilgrims, up the Plymouth. Come on, you boys in green. Green Army! And yeah, we will see you for the next video, guys. I hope you enjoyed this one, because I certainly did, because I reckon we will stay up. Cheerio.
When they pull on the green, they're all Janners.